All right. So, welcome to Poindexter's Pointers to Fighting. I'm Poindexter, and my pointer today is if you are in a domestic violence situation, you really need to realize that and get out of that. And the reason why I'm discussing this is because I went through this as well with my biological parents. They had actual fist fights, and I used to witness that as an 8, 9, 10 year old. I came up through the foster care system, and there were a lot of people I noticed who were in very violent relationships, and they always had excuses about why they never left those relationships. It was always about, oh, I can change this person, or they really love me, but they just have a strange way of showing it, and stuff like that. And I teach this channel is a self defense channel, but this is also kind of self defense for your well being. You know, the first thing you have to identify though is that there is a problem. If you deal with someone who has to put their hands on you, then there's probably a disconnect there between you two. And I'm not a guy who believes in, men shouldn't hit women, but women can hit men. That's not how I roll. I don't believe anybody should be hitting anybody. And so I don't think women should hit men. I don't think men should hit women. And I have even seen situations where there are women who beat the holy crap out of their dudes. And and so for men in those situations, you really have to leave. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because in these situations, police tend to believe the woman over the man. This is true. It's facts. You can look it up. There are far more man on woman domestic violence situations reported than woman on man. One, because men are embarrassed to report that their woman is beating them up. And two, because cops don't take it seriously. They'll tell you, oh, you're a man, just deal with it or something. But it's mental. It's not always physical. Not always physical. And sometimes I see men get beat up that are trying to be chivalrous. Oh, I never hit a woman. And then I watch her hit him with a weapon or something and beat him up till he's bloody. Don't be in these situations. This is it's a bad situation for you, but what you don't realize is other people probably notice what's going on. You'll probably have some kind of mark, black eye, busted, bruises or something. And if you're a parent, it's even worse because that cycle will continue. The younger your kid is, the more they're going to think that this is the way life is. Most kids copy what they see their parents do. And so, my kid, for example, my daughter, sometimes me and my wife crack jokes and bust out laughing, or we'll run up and tickle each other and we'll both be laughing. She doesn't know what's happening. She'll be like, hey, stop it or something, because she doesn't know what's happening. And she thinks we're mad at each other when we're actually busting out laughing. Because kids, what they see, they don't understand what they see. But if they see something, they're going to think this is the way it is. So if they see dad smacking mom or mom punching dad and they see this all the time, this is a cycle of violence. They will continue this later. They'll see it now. They'll think this is how life is supposed to be because this is how I'm living. And then when it's their turn to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something, it's going to come back. And you could have broke that. My parents were violent, but I'm not violent because I figured out that this ain't the way it's supposed to be. So you break that cycle. There's no reason for you to be with someone that you have to strike or someone you have to verbally degrade constantly. If you have self-esteem issues, go see a therapist. Go see someone, or go somewhere where you're going to feel better. Go find an outlet. My outlet was martial arts. When I had violent tendencies as a foster kid, they put me in wrestling, boxing, martial arts, and I had outlets. So when I came back to where I was supposed to be, I didn't feel any need to do anything to anyone. Sometimes you need an outlet. But if you're a person who needs to cause violence, then maybe you need to go see somebody. Because look at the example you're setting for others. And if you're in a situation where you're a victim, realize there's a problem. Anytime someone you call partner is putting their hands on you, or constantly putting you down, making you feel like crap 100% of the time, it's time for you to move on. So that's my pointer. Like and subscribe. Holla at your boy.